A longtime customer of ours called us the other day and they asked if we could come out and paint their patio. They just wanted to do something that was quick and easy that would improve the look of the patio without spending a ton of money. But instead of painting the concrete, I suggested using a semi-transparent concrete stain. This is really going to improve the look of their concrete floor, and it's not really going to take any longer than if we had just painted the concrete. Troy went out to this job the day before we had to stain it, and he acid washed it and pressure washed it clean. The acid roughens up the concrete so that the stain and the sealer will have something to stick to. Technically, you're supposed to grind smooth concrete before you use this product, but since this slab has a light broom finish texture to it, we're going to be okay without grinding. I'm a big fan of this pressure washer attachment. It's nice how it controls the overspray, which helps us to keep the siding clean. I'll leave a link for this tool and everything else we use in this video in the description down below. This water-based stain that we're using is very different from an acid stain. You would never want to acid wash a patio before you apply an acid stain, but since this is a pigmented acrylic stain, we needed to make sure the concrete was rough, which is why we used acid to wash the concrete first. Today we're staining the concrete with Westcoat SC35 water-based concrete stain. We're going to apply the first coat with a brush. This is a little different than other stains that we use. Typically we would just spray the stain on the ground and then let it dry. I think we have a tendency to spray too much stain on the surface when we're spraying it out of a pump sprayer. And with most water-based stains in particular, it's important to put on really thin coats. So using a broom on the first coat is really going to help us to stretch this material a really long ways, which is going to keep this first coat really thin. I really enjoy making videos like this, and I've actually been filming every job that we do for the past, 5 or 6 years, and I'm putting together courses that will cover every single thing that you see on this YouTube channel. So if you want more info about how you can enroll in one of those courses, it'll be the first link in the description down below. One thing I've noticed about this stain that I really like is it seems like you're able to get much lighter colors than you can get with a typical dye or with an acid stain. Once you see the finished pictures of this patio, you'll see what I'm talking about, but this is the first job we've done in a long time where this concrete stain wasn't really dark. So it was nice to be able to stain this job kind of a light tan color. Once the first coat of stain dried, I decided that I wanted to spray a light coat over the entire slab. This will help to give the stain a little variation, and it will also cover up our application marks from the broom. You can see Troy put the pump sprayer in a bucket. We call that our disaster bucket. That's just there in case the nozzle clogs or something and it starts dripping. That way he can just put the tip into the bucket really quick. And for some reason, if the sprayer were to start leaking down the sides of the pump sprayer, that way we're covered. You have to be a little artistic with this step. He's obviously not spraying the entire slab. He's just trying to spray spots where you might see application marks. Then he's also trying to spray spots that might be a little too gray from the natural gray concrete showing through. So it's just kind of hit or miss, and the goal is just to make it look good. We're sealing this project with Westcoat SC70 acrylic sealer. We're going to add a little bit of grit to the sealer, and that's just to make sure that this patio is not going to be slippery when it's wet. I always worry about roller marks in the sealer, and that's especially true when we're using grit in it. The grit tends to build up where the roller starts and stops, so I'm going to back roll the entire slab from wall to wall so that the roller never stops in the middle of the room. Troy's job here is just to get the sealer on the ground, and then I'm going to back roll the floor with my roller, which is mostly dry. It got pretty hot later in the day, so we decided it would be best to come back and do the last coat on a cooler day. This time around, I'm just going to spray a really light coat across the entire patio, and then we'll be done with this one. You can see I have my roller there ready, just in case we need it to back roll this after we sprayed it. But once we started spraying the sealer, it all really laid out really nice and evenly, so we just decided to spray it and leave it alone. I mentioned earlier that I really like this product because we're able to get lighter colors than we can get with traditional acid stains or dyes. Overall, I think this turned out really nice, and I think it's a lot better than if we had just painted this a solid color. If you want more info about the exact products we used, I will leave a link in the description down below. I'll put a playlist on the screen where you can see some other videos we've made about staining concrete. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.